So I'm titling this video, I wasn't scared. So school is about to start, and maybe you have kids or grandkids who are going to school or going back to school. And I have a memory. This is one of the few memories I have of my mother that I can remember very vividly. As you know, I lost my mother when I was 10 years old. And it was difficult, to say the least. But anyway, I remember my mother saying she wasn't scared. So my first day of school, this was my very first day of school. And I was in a school where my sister and I, for a long time, we were the only two black children or African-American children in the whole school. And I grew up in New Jersey partially until I was 12. Anyway, so I was in a small town, Jersey. My mother took me to school for kindergarten, and I walked into the room and I was like, okay, mommy, right? I'm good. Basically I'm like, okay. And she was like, are you okay? Are you okay? She was more upset than I was. And I said, no, I'm fine. It's okay. And so she left, but she didn't really leave. I found out later. She stood outside peeping in the window to see if I was okay. And later she told someone, she said, she didn't cry. She didn't ask me to stay at all. And there was a girl in the room with me, a little girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. And she was just crying and crying and crying. And I looked at her, I said, why are you crying? This is me when I was 5 years old. I said, why are you crying? She said, I need my mom. I want my mommy. I said, she's coming back. She'll be back. Why are you crying? And my mom, later, I remember my mom telling people, she was like, she didn't cry. She didn't cry for me or anything. She said, my baby didn't cry at all. And I've always kind of been that person. I seem to people sometimes I might be flighty or this and that, but at the core, I always have known who I am. So, generally. So, I'm not going to chase people around, all this kind of stuff. I've always known who I am. And I just had that memory. I was watching something that kind of triggered that. But anyway, so what do you have any memories of your first day of school? If you do, leave it in the comments. Let me know. As always, thank you for joining me with Adornment with Adrienne. I'm your girlfriend or your auntie of lifestyle and decor. And as always, instead of saying goodbye, say saving hello for another time. Please be sure to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And by the way, I am Pisces, so I do cry. I'm very emotional, but when it's time to anchor or for stuff to hunker down, I'm like, okay, what I gotta do? The Jersey girl in me really comes out. Anyway, see you in the next video.